Hey fellow Vault Dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and in this video we'll be taking a closer look on the Tenderizer. It's a new weapon, added last year, then not so new, but what's new about it? Since this midweek, we can actually get a legendary version, because there is a plan for the Tenderizer, and whoever learned the plan have a chance to get a legendary version. And if you are curious how you can get a legendary version, there is a couple options for that. Basically, you have a chance to buy it from Merma at Rusty Peak, or you can drop it as an event reward from Scorchbeast Queen, or you can drop it as event reward from Arrow. But very important, you need to learn plan first, otherwise you have no chance to obtain it. But still, even if you don't have plan learn, you can buy it from Market 76 from other player vendors, and if you'll be lucky enough and someone will be selling legendary version, you can buy it even if you don't have the plan. And now, look at that beauty. I'm so sold on this weapon. It's a Pepper mod installed. Look at the animation, how it looks like. It's glorious. Look at that. For a style points, it's at least 10 out of 10. It's an amazing weapon. I really like it. And in this video, I want to quickly compare it with other top weapons. And yeah, I have legendary version as well to show you guys. It's not a perfect roll. There is no swing speed or power attack. There is just reflex, melee damage while blocking. That's the most useless second star. But anyway, it's bloody +1 strength and damage is there. Damage is there. It's really good. And for the comparison, of course, we have non-legendary weapons. We have Burning Barbed Ship Squad Staff. That's a winner from my last two-handed weapon comparison series. That's the strongest two-handed weapon. And then we have a second place from my last test. That's a Heated Super Sledge. And as always, we'll be testing it on the mole miners. And to reduce my damage, I will actually, and for consistency, I will actually use Radex. I always do that. We don't want mutation to interfere. We don't want increased damage from low health at this moment. And as you can see, there is nothing that will be changing during the fight. Strengthening numbers, I'm not on the team, then it does not work. And I don't have, at this moment, adrenaline. As you can see, it's not equipped. Then damage will not be changing from kill to kill. And there is one level of Master Slugger, Expert Slugger, and Slugger. Some bloody mess. Then it's very basic setup. It's not too much damage. And I'm wearing power armor. Therefore, I have no bonuses from my clothing. Level 8 mole miners. We need to get inside. And I don't know if you noticed, but it looks really good with Nuka-Cola power armor. I really like it. And now to the test. And of course, as always, I will show you a closer look on those health bars after we hit those small miners. And yeah, it's 2 hits at this moment, but normally it will be 1 hit. And you can see this animation. It's really good. And now let's see other weapons. If we compare it with Super Sledge, then even without closer look, you can see that I'm doing very similar damage. And if we take Burning Ship Squad Staff, you will see something interesting here. Because if I hit him, you can see that he's actually losing health after I hit him for a little bit. That's a burning damage. And that's another reason I'm doing the test with hitting enemies, rather than just taking a look on the damage on paper, on the weapon card. Because it does not tell you the full story. And to compare the stats on paper, Tenderizer is doing 228 damage and it's equipped with the best possible mod, that's Peppered. There are 2 different mods that you can install if you don't have Pepper, because Pepper is the best. There is Salty, a little bit less damage, but you have more limb damage and a chance to stagger. And there is Spicy mode that gives you energy damage. Never go for energy damage, and I will show you exactly why. See, 228 ballistic only. It had Super Sledge, 222 and 15 energy. If you add it together, it's supposed to be doing more damage, but we'll take a closer look what is the actual damage in a second. And Burning Ship Squad Staff, 225 plus 15. Then, and in case of this weapon, the burning damage is actually adding secret damage. It's a secret power of this weapon. Burning damage is on top of this what's stated on weapon card, and nowhere here I will find that it's actually doing extra burning damage and how much. Although higher you go in your damage, the less visible this burning damage is. It's worth to mention. And now if we take a closer look on those damage, on those health bars, much bigger, and the reason I'm doing it always based on enemies' health bars, it's because sometimes your Pip-Boy is lying about actual damage, energy weapons and ballistic weapons using different damage calculation, and sometimes you can have just a bug. The only reliable way for me to be absolutely sure I'm reporting the correct data is to take a closer look on those health bars. And you can clearly see that burning ship squad stuff is doing the best damage. And reason for that is not only the burning damage, but total damage is also the best. Then it is slightly stronger than other weapons, although not so much. And even though I took a screenshot early before the burning damage did the full amount of damage, it's still like 2 ticks of burning damage on top of initial hit. And then we have Super Sledge and Tenderizer doing exactly the same damage, even though if you add energy damage and ballistic damage of Super Sledge together, it should be doing more damage. And if you ask about armor penetration, yes, I do have Incisor equipped, then I have armor penetration from my melee build. And still, Tenderizer is doing exactly same damage. I mean, at least if you count pixels, it's pixel to pixel exactly the same. It can be slight difference, but not much, at least not enough to notice. And now, since my Radex expired, let's take this bloodied Tenderizer for a spin a little bit, as we need to clear a couple super mutants and do one more test. Which weapon is the loudest, or if there is any difference in... And how we doing? Yeah, 1 hit. And that's to be expected. You don't need any more damage. I should probably run it without any slugger perks, most likely. Ah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, even if I have my health a little bit above the nerd rage, it's still 1 hit. Then you cannot complain on this weapon. It do the job and it looks cool. And the value of the look of the weapon? Oh, it's hard to judge. But for me, it's more than a little bit extra damage from ship squad stuff. Unless you've... Oh, I killed the turret. We have another turret on the back. Okay, and now I'm out of my power armor. Let's see if there is any difference in noise produced by those weapons. And let's see, the Tenderizer first. It is loud. Okay, next one. Ship squad stuff. It's medium noise. It's definitely not as loud as Tenderizer. And Super Sledge. It is loud. Then Tenderizer is equally loud as a Super Sledge. Ship squad stuff is not so. And to conclude our testing, for me, the Tenderizer is the best melee weapon because of the style points. It's not the best damage-wise. Burning ship squad stuff is slightly better, but for me Tenderizer is still #1 melee weapon. If I will be using any two-handed, if possible, it will be the Tenderizer. And look how great it matches the Nuka-Cola power armor. Okay, but that's me. What's your choice for the best melee weapon? Is it the Tenderizer or something else? And I'm not counting unarmed in here. Just one-handed and two-handed. And if you missed on Tenderizer plan, there is another midweek incoming, then get ready to farm it, because drop chance is really low. And that's everything for this video. Thank you a lot for watching, and see you guys in the next one.